nobody would look at it.
I mean, did you not post that?
Look, can you send the video of you running after Zach?
Yeah.
Send it to John. Let's just see what John thinks.
Okay.
You never know. John
running up to Zach?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
I'll send it to you.
Come on.
I just sent it to you, John.
How? Hello?
John Kitover. Your Instagram.
On Instagram?
He's the clubhouse king.
There's a lot of rooms that I'm missing out on recording right now.
But you know the person that you love the most.
I have bucks. I got paid. Alright.
But you know you enjoy Diego's company more than I probably... No, I enjoy Diego's company more. But you enjoy his company second. Are you watching the video? Wow, are you laughing?
This is so funny. This is fucking amazing.
I got him laughing, dude.
Holy shit.
You did it. You did it. It's all you, Diego.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, he's gotta laugh his ass off when he sees that shit. See, this is the next level. This is the next level of comedy. Is like doing this type of shit. Like we were, like 6 months ago, we started doing Suno songs about each other, but this is like the next level of making fun of people. It's good. Like TikTok and Instagram and all these fucking AI videos, like they are the future of hypnosis and comedy.
How can we make one about Issa?
Well, we got to get a photo of her from her Instagram and then plug her face in. And we'll have her running through like a house or something.
Facing Nura.
I definitely want to do one of her in Thomas.
But Thomas has moved on. He has... Oh, you sent me a second one? Or the other one that you made? The one that's in his face?
Yeah. You can show that one to John, too.
I think, here you go, John. I just sent it to you. Oh, our house has lighting. John, you didn't open it. Oh, you did.
Oh, dude.
And then there's the one where he argues with his Jewish mother. Did you want to see him see that one too?
Yeah, let me see that one too.
He loves these.
I think this is the first time he's ever laughed.
You know what's funny is like this could upset Zach. But if he doesn't think it's funny, then he's kind of a prick if he doesn't think it's funny.
No, Zach's cool. He'll think it's funny.
I hope he thinks it's funny. But
Diego did make an AI song that hurt my feelings.
But see, you two better fucking do the same shit and roast yourself. You better do it.
What do you mean? Diego roasts me all the time. What do you think I'm here for? For him to roast me?
No, I want to see I want to see the same type of videos, but with your faces on it.
John, can you create can you upload your likeness to Sora so that we can make ones with you?
I have a Sora account, yeah.
Yeah, so you need to I think you have to allow yourself to be cast. You have to create your persona and allow yourself to be cast. I have 5 other ones. I have one where Zach walks into a dusty Mexican bar. Yeah, I have a bunch of them. They're very funny. I like Zach a lot.
Welcome, Kevin.
Oh, is Kevin here?
He was. Kevin, I saw a great new movie. It's called The Color of Pomegranates. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, I love pomegranate.
I've not heard of it.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
Noda, can you post the video for Kevin to watch?
Yeah.
You gotta see
the one
this movie.
of us being chased.
Yeah, the chasing one. Do you know Zach De La Ruta, Kevin? Evan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
And
you
his
don't
Arab
understand
Palestinian girlfriend. Okay. Let's see. Paste. Oh, because this is a new room.
Actually, you're chasing both of us.
I know. I thought all of these were in the room, but I realized they're not. Kevin, did you click it?
No.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay.
It seems like John Kitover has a better sense of humor than Kevin. Kevin's not laughing.
I'm laughing.
You're not laughing.
I am.
It's so funny. He said, "I'm laughing."
I'm like chuckling. I'm chuckling at it. What's the audio? I didn't hear the audio.
Oh, you didn't hear it. You have to hear it.
Oh, you.
You want me to play it for you?
I got it. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Okay, Kevin is sad. How do I upload a likeness of myself, Diego? I don't know how to do this. Never mind. I'll figure it. No, I don't, but I'll figure it out because I'm not supposed to ask
who's
you
chasing
questions.
you in this?
Nora. But a much cuter one. A much cuter Nora.
I mean,
my
that's
God. I thought you were Nora. I'm not gonna lie.
you thought Diego was me? With the
No,
mask?
I thought you were on this app. I thought this was just another account for you. I thought you were Nora.
What? It is Nora.
Oh. Okay, well, why are you speaking about yourself in the third person? So I got confused.
Jimmy is very angry. Jimmy doesn't want that.
Because Kevin is a character of Nora, so that's why I'm speaking about her like that.
About you.
Yeah, but it was speaking about the character of Nora, not me.
Alright.
No ice.
She turned on the photo booth to take photos of herself. Can you imagine?
I'm trying to make a video, an apology video, but I'm trying to see if I can get it where my scar doesn't show. But like an apology video for Diego.
Yeah, Diego, I think Randy might not be as smart as I thought he was.
Because he got doxxed, apparently?
No. We were talking about Nick Fuentes' appearance on Piers Morgan, and
Yeah.
I think Nick Fuentes is a hard person to argue against successfully enough, where it would justify giving him the additional platform. I just kind of think based on the way he presents his ideas and the way he's kind of willing to shift positions depending on the audience and stuff, I think he's just difficult. But I asked Randy, I was like, well, if you were Piers, what arguments or strategies would you use against Nick? And he was like, well, I agree with Nick, so I can't really think of that.
That's a black answer. That's a black man's answer.
What did you do? If you didn't have breakfast, what would you have had?
Yeah, that's actually, I was a little bit shocked by that. Because it's I don't know, maybe there is a position out there that I would find so difficult to defend. You would it would be genuinely challenging for me to come up with the arguments. But I feel like for everything I believe, I could at least make an effort at arguing the opposite.
Well,
I don't know. I thought there was I thought.
Kevin.
Okay, let's test it out. Kevin.
Sure.
Take the position that there were not 6 million Jews that were killed in the Holocaust, and why?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of the arguments that they make. One of the things they bring up.
No, you were saying it from their position. You have to say it as
their position.
You have to say it as if you believe it.
Okay.
Like in a paper when you.
So I'm assuming the character in this debate. So at the time, nobody thought it was 6 million. One report from the American Red Cross estimated it at around 270,000.
Oh, really? Wow.
Additionally, estimating deaths for something like this is incredibly difficult, especially given how many of the records the Germans destroyed themselves. So how would we even know these
Kevin, you can stop. You convince me.
How are people so confident that it is 6 million? We hear this number all the time. It's such an exact, specific number. You know, I mean.
You convinced me. Good job.
I mean, I think like if you're like, not that it's not a challenging intellectual exercise, but I think one should be able to argue the other position, or at least like, I don't know, I was a little bit surprised by that answer from him. Of like, I was literally like, wait, so you can't, like, you're intellectually unable to imagine how, if you were Piers Morgan, like what you might say in order to make Nick look bad.
Are you laughing at what he's saying, or are you laughing at something else, Diego? I can't tell.
I'm laughing at the fact that Randy is kind of retarded. I don't think that he actually got doxxed by John or Keegan, but I do think he's a little slow.
I looked up that last name. It is a Palestinian Christian last name, despite it being a Lebanese last name.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a Palestinian Christian.
Wow.
Kevin, are you still there, or are you on the phone? Diego, do you know that? Okay, Kevin, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, yeah.
You all know that meme of that Chad?
The Giga Chad?
I guess. I don't know why. I don't know if I've seen too many of Nick Fuentes' face, like, imposed on it and making it look like he looks like him. But now when I see Nick Fuentes on video on live, like when he was talking to Sneeko, he looked like that Chad. He's, like, getting really, really handsome.
He's definitely glowed up quite a bit. I mean, but that also, like, you know, when he started streaming, he was like basically a child. I mean, he was like a freshman in college or something like that. He was, you know, maybe 18 years old. And now he's
yeah, he's looking.
Now he's like
good.
My age. He's almost exactly my age. I think he's like 25, 26. Yeah. Dude, the dude's gotten a lot more handsome. I mean, the beard helps him. I think he also gained a little bit of weight, which you know, I think he maybe is like even a tad chubby now. But like before, he was like super skinny. So I think him putting on a little bit of weight was like an improvement, like having like a little bit more fat in his face.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I don't know why. Just like whenever I see him, like on my, like I saw him with Sneeko, I was like, okay, he looks like that Chad meme now. Like actually, not even the fake one, where they superimpose his face on it.
Did you see him on Piers Morgan?
We watched it together, like in Diego's room.
What an embarrassing performance from Piers Morgan. I mean, absolutely retarded. Like he maybe couldn't have done it. He maybe couldn't have done a worse job.
Did you see Dr. Phil and him talking about it then, like a few days later? Did you see that, Diego?
I heard about it.
Dr. Phil and Piers Morgan analyzed Nick Fuentes, his debate. And Dr. Phil was saying at least now he can admit that there was maybe even more than 6 million that were killed in the Holocaust.
You know, I think the issue with arguing with Nick about something like this is he doesn't actually like care about the So if let's say you brought on a subject matter expert on like the Holocaust history to debate him, Nick would just say, I really don't even actually care. I just don't like the way the Jews use the Holocaust to hurt white people. So
no, that's not. Yeah, to some degree, yeah. But his position is like, why can't I question it? That he hasn't even looked at it one way or the other. He doesn't have a position one way or the other. That's what he said.
He does. He does though. I gotta get going though.
Bye, Kevin.
He does.
I mean, Kevin convinced me that it was not 6 million. He did a really good job.
Well, all I can say is, Princessia, based on the way that you use this app, you will probably be stuck. Have you ever seen the movie Batman with Bane? Where, Batman and Bane both like climb out of the hole and free themselves from their pit of despair. Do you know that part from the movie?
I don't have despair when I'm around Diego. What are you talking about?
It's called a metaphor. Do you know what a metaphor is?
You're using it incorrectly.
You know what a metaphor is. Anyways, it's just an observation.
Metaphor versus simile. But Diego, what did you say? I feel like you roasted me, but I couldn't hear you.
What's a simile?
When you use like or as. Diego, you said something. I want to hear the disc. Go ahead. Because every time you say it helps me.
Like 6 million, as in more or less, as in like 80 hours a week.
I was born in it.
I didn't grow up in Clown House. I just recorded it.
John,
hello?
You know what my name is supposed to mean, right? I know music does, but I don't think Diego knows.
Orange.
Hello?
I will point out the California was going to be New Year's Eve.
My name is supposed to mean light.
The government says, and it was by some pro-Palestinian organization, but not necessarily singularly attacking Jews. So I guess the rest of y'all would just be collateral damage. I don't know. Thanks for that, Abby. I hate that term, by the way. Benjamin, followed by the doctor.
Hey.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I guess I'll be the first contract you because I don't have a green bean, but I think it's one thing for people who are on the inside to say how internally consistent their world is and how externally the world is. That doesn't make any sense. But if you want to understand this problem, I think you have to be a little bit honest. There's really two main features that contribute to this dynamic. One is the Bible,
And he left us.
like the religious, unnegotiable, and the second is Israel, which is like a physical reality. And for 2,000 years, the Bible, right? The Bible is rough. Like, I don't know if you've read it. Maybe you're not.
They don't call it the Bible. They call it the Torah.
That's fine. The Torah, it's part of the Bible.
No,
the Torah, the Tanakh.
No. It's
The Pentateuch.
Hold on. It's fundamentally different. The Torah and Tanakh are the Old Testament in the Bible. The Bible is the compilation of the Old and the New, right? So
And from a Christian perspective, yeah. But
so you can't call the New Testament just the Bible. You can't call it the Old Testament just the Bible.
Benjamin, Marshall's not wrong. Marshall's telling you correctly. He's not wrong, but he is stupid. Please continue, Benjamin.
We go one at a time in the room, and the only people allowed to interrupt are moderators. I'm sorry, Gary, as he says, we'll get to you when he sees you on his device, not when you see.
Sorry, Marshall, you're not wrong, though.
I wouldn't want to get all wrapped up in analysis, but Scott and I go back and forth on this, pretty much every week. And I was raised on in a Christian context, so with these same books. And I understand, what that means. Now, I walked away from it. I rejected it. I'm no longer a Christian. And I think that that's the morally correct thing to do, because I think that certain religious ideas are just not compatible with my morality. Now, if somebody now look, here's the basic assumption of the Jewish proposition, that there's only one God.
No. I've got to corral you, bro.
Oh, okay.
We're having a specific discussion, not about their legitimacy, about Jews.
Are we safe?
And in their safety. Can you
The Marshall Rankin Show. The fucking Marshall Rankin Show. Hey, Marshall fixes everything. Marshall will keep you on the straight and narrow. Stay on topic, Marshall.
There's two types of people who are Jewish and people who are not. And God prefers the Jewish kind. That's been the message.
Benjamin.
Well, that's not been the message. That's an inaccurate recitation. In fact, that's the kind of trope that puts Jews in danger.
Yep.
So you want to come on here and say that you're not going to get away with it. You can go to another room and say it, and they'll probably say, "Right on, brother." But if you're going to, if you're going to articulate Jewish philosophy and Jewish religious teachings, you are more than welcome to, but you better fucking well know what you're talking about. And that's bullshit what you just said. It's not an us against them thing. It's not like the Jews want to take over the world. In fact, we oppose proselytization. It's not written in our book to try to convince you to drop your atheism or agnosticism and become a Jew. We're not looking for you. We're not recruiting you. Don't worry about it. Jews don't go out and grab people off the street and put the heebie-jeebie on them and say, now we have a Jew. And have this us against them, and we hate anybody who's not a Jew is not a full human being, you see. That's not true. So if you want to cite things in the Torah, or as you like to refer, the Old Testament or the Old Bible, feel free, but be accurate. And I think you're a smart enough guy to know that you're being deliberately inaccurate. So,
Gary, you're sounding an awful lot like a Jew right now, Gary.
Situation to push through the very kind of tropes that put Jews in danger every day. Dr. Me followed by Les.
But Gary, what about the Jew that put the Palestinian in danger, Gary?
Dr. Me.
Hello, Gary. Can you hear me, Gary? Gary?
Les followed by David.
Gary, you are sounding like a Jew right now, and it is a Jew, a Zionist like you, that put my Palestinian brothers in jeopardy. Hello? Simon? Hey, Simon, how you doing over there?
The thing that we can address directly are the...
Last time I spoke with Simon, he's like, John Kitover sounds like what AIDS sounds like. And I was like, no, Simon, that was projection, Simon.
You don't do a good impersonation of him.
Who, Simon? It's very hard to do his monotone voice.
Diego does a really good job of it.
He does. Diego's the best at everything.
Yeah.
Diego's the best at everything. I'm gonna open a new house. Will you come to my new house? It's gonna be called Diego's the Best at Everything by Nora, his fucking con house secretary.
What the heck's going on, Scott? Your audio is on. Nonsense is coming out. I don't know what happened with Scott's microphone there, but
Sorry about that, Gary. I do not know how that happened. My bad. Sorry, apology.
Now I'm curious what Scott's up to.
I was actually editing a podcast for the Jewish Farmers Network.
I gotcha. Now I understand. You were scrolling through the audio. Now I understand what I was hearing. Okay, Les followed by David. Go ahead and start all over, Les.
Gary, were you able to hear what I said, or do I need to repeat it? Or?
Go ahead and basically recap, because I don't want your words to be lost.
So, the thing that I think really needs to be addressed that would help the situation
Marshall
are
left.
the blood libels that are spread every day against Jews. and these ideas have consequences, and they're murderous. And we're seeing this all the time.
This is why you should issue the apology, Nora, instead of wasting your time sitting here all day. Like,
Okay,
get the video out.
listen, I tried, but my face is way too, it's just I tried to do a video of an apology.
I didn't feel that these people had power, and they could be sloughed off. But for the most bizarre reason, unless you look into it a little more deeply, after October 7th, it really intensified. And it's basically your oil money at work. You had Qatar that took all this money and decided to smear Israel and smear Jews. And that was just part of it anyway. But in general, these blood libels.
Sergeant, come talk to us.
Do
you not want to talk to us because
and they can't be allowed to stand. Thank you.
You used the correct term that I did not use in labeling what the previous caller said, and it was indeed a blood libel. Thank you for correcting that, Les. David G., followed by Tiffany.
Hey, Gary. Very sobering weekend, to say the least. In addition to the many lives that were lost in Sydney, to the anti-Semitism shooting and the many injured, we lost Rob Reiner, who was also of the faith and a great, valiant activist, in addition to the many great things he did on TV and movies and his.
Because you're on my Instagram, stupid.
Yeah, it's a shame that he died of Trump derangement syndrome. That's just really sad.
Well, I just didn't want to go there. But you're right. Yeah, that was a horrible slap. But no, I mean, I used to live in a neighborhood where we had several synagogues and in Beverly Hills, and the police, we had the San Bernardino killings, and Beverly Hills policemen were out in force, cruising the neighborhoods, far removed from the incident, but not really that far removed. So, as a non-Jew, but as a person that was raised.
Sorry, Nora, didn't mean to call you stupid. I just, really want you to issue an apology video so you can move on with your life, because your video.
Okay, this is my apology video. I'm so sorry for everything that I said.
No, I mean, you got to issue it on your YouTube, on your Instagram, on your TikTok.
No, I'm recording myself right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, great. I'm so glad all my work is done here then.
I do look like a ventriloquist, and I'm not appropriately dressed.
You're a clown?
It's that much of a threat. Australia is interesting, Gary, because on the one hand, it was settled by similar folks that helped settle this country, coming from England.
What that happened to my face?
Predominantly a Judeo-Christian faith background settler class of people that came there, irrespective of their indigenous issues that we had. But yeah, I'm disappointed, Gary, that the Prime Minister did not be more vocal about the anti-Semitism and the response to what had happened. Recall in 2002, the Balinese bombing.
My ancestors were disregarded, dishonored, and
88 of those were Aussie nationals. And the reason I emphasize that is because most Australians could name or know somebody that died, or knew somebody that died in that incident. That's how small a country Australia is, 25 million people. And then, of course, in 2005, there was another bombing where 4 were killed. So the government and the country to continue to message properly, I think we're ultimately worried about upsetting or continue to upset their 250 million plus Muslim population in Indonesia to the east of them. So they're obviously trying to message and be, as, somber as they could, but at the same time not inflame. The Indonesian government was very slow to execute and go after the perpetrators, claiming political and other issues that they didn't want to inflame further. So there's a lot of issues, Gary, with regard to battling this scourge of anti-Semitism, particularly against the religion that is blamed the most for this type of activity and action. So I'm not saying that there aren't anti-Jews everywhere, regardless of political persuasion, but it tends to be messaged as either, racist right-wingers or leftist, pro-leftist champions of a movement against the Israeli government for the Palestinians. Whatever stripe that it comes in, it clearly ends in a situation where we don't cure the problem. And of course, 2,000 plus years or more, actually 3,000 plus years of anti-Semitism that's faced the Jewish people and religion doesn't help either, because there's 8 billion people on the planet, Gary. There's 8 billion people on the planet. And I believe under 20 million, 15 to 20 million Jews, if I'm accurate or inaccurate on that number. But it just bespeaks
15 million. 15 million on the planet.
Thank you, Abby. 15 million. So this is, and to your point, Gary, about the massive contributions of the religion and the people to academia, to medicine, science, from Einstein on down, going back. I mean, there's been a massive contribution for their sheer numbers to not be lost on the world in terms of. And this is where even in the 21st century, Gary, we're way more radicalized with factions and bad ideas and tropes and everything else, to where this can't be litigated with violence, unfortunately. We can there's just too many people against this small religion, Gary, for there to be, other than, from a state position sort of response, because we don't know. I was talking to my sister's boyfriend, who's Jewish, and his last name's Levy, and he's from the East Coast, and we just celebrated a Christmas party together, and I wished him happy Hanukkah on the first day, and he's scared about Mandavi, and he's scared about all these other issues that are coming around, and then this whole thing blew up in our face over the weekend, and I was talking to him about, we don't, for you don't know you don't know where these people are. You don't know where the enemy is residing or walking amongst us. And that's the scary thing about, I've been to Bondi Beach, by the way, Garrett. I brought it up in a room earlier with Rick and Marshall. It's a beautiful location.
You and Nicole Kidman, she was just there last week.
Oh, okay. Well, my point with bringing that up is that it's a beautiful place in space, and you think of Australia as a very safe country, given the reasons I mentioned about being 25 million. But we were talking about how the Sydney government, the police force, should have. It's a big beach, so they would have required a pretty sizable police presence to maybe deter or beat back.
They didn't occupy the entire beach. The party was held in a confined area, actually a park adjacent to the beach, to be exact. So it was doable in terms of setting up security.
Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense then, because some of the videos I was.
And by the way, the NYPD does a great job of setting up security for Times Square on New Year's Eve and the Thanksgiving Day Parade and the 4th of July fireworks, and that's certainly spread out much, much further than this. It's doable, believe me.
No, absolutely. And I wanted to bring up, like I said, I mentioned before, I was in Thailand during my 5-country tour this past summer, and it was the beginning of the first Thai holidays, the New Year. And in my hotel, there were Israeli nationals celebrating in my hotel I had several conversations with them, and when I went down into the lobby to leave for dinner, 8 or 9 Thai national military personnel were in that lobby protecting that large group of celebrants for the high holidays. So, you know, this was a far larger gathering with which I don't know how you would rate holidays in terms of importance. I guess it doesn't really matter, but the fact that you would have that many Jewish adherents trying to celebrate Hanukkah on a beach like that says to me that, yeah, there was a drop or lapse in security for that. So, but anyway, I'll land there, Gary. I know other folks want to speak, and my heart and prayers go out. And obviously, whatever more money we need to spend. You know, I mean, one thing about America, Gary, one thing I've enjoyed about being in this country, being in Los Angeles, is, you know, our movie industry has done a wonderful job of keeping the memory of the Holocaust alive. And I remember it was brought to my attention in the early 90s when I was in college, and Schindler's List was just launched by Spielberg, excuse me. And it was argued in class on several of my discussions about international politics in Israel was George Bush Sr. was attempting to roll back, I guess he was trying to roll back some of the funding we do for Israel. And it was being argued that Schindler's List was potentially a direct response to some of these policies that George Sr. was trying to implement. And I'm not saying he wasn't a friend of Israel, but the fact that it was being debated that we can't keep our eye off the ball with regard to Israel and assisting them geopolitically. But I don't know, that's for another discussion. But I remember the movie was one of the most impactful ones I ever saw on the Holocaust. And, you know, I'm grateful for Hollywood for able to produce that kind of production, because let's face it, Gary, we're very lazy when it comes to academics and studying and learning. And even myself, who has many Jewish friends, I had to do a deep dive to understand just what the protocols of Elders of Zion was and how that originated and how that found fertile soil in Russia and in Europe, and then was used and leveraged by the Nazi machinery to promulgate these ideas that they used to, starting out as, you know, basic lies about the history of Judaism in the world and how those took root. And even to this day, these ideas are still promulgated out there and believed by Nazi groups and whatnot. And so, you know, it's only going to be, I think it's only going to be one, Gary, through a better educational approach to this. And, you know, and I'll end there.
Can I respond to 2 things, David?
Absolutely.
David, with respect to lack of security, we will have, when we have an event in the United States, we will always reach out to our local law enforcement, let them know there's going to be an event. We do hire private security. And, you know, in the United States, we'll have private security that's armed. However, we do rely heavily on local law enforcement. I believe when you read the accounts on how much in Sydney they were being assisted by local law enforcement, there's a real lack of real motivation in that country to have taken the Jewish community's needs seriously, and they were not getting the reimbursement that luckily we do in a lot of U.S. cities when we have events, in some of our cities that are more problematic. The first thing. The second thing is I'm actually friendly with Stephen's sister, and no, that wasn't the motivation on doing Schindler's List whatsoever. And he grew up in a very identified family. And if you're in LA, his mother owned the Milk and Honey restaurant, which was a dairy kosher restaurant. And he did Jewish traditions and raised his children with a strong identity. And there were other motivating factors to making Schindler, but it wasn't because of George Bush.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. I was aware that his mother lived in the city for a long time and had that business. But thank you for clarifying that. Appreciate that.
Thank you, David and Abby. We'll go to Tiffany. And by the way, we are now at 6:05 Eastern time, so we will no longer be inviting folks onto the stage, but we are into extra time, which means that everybody on stage and in queue will have the opportunity to speak. We go to Tiffany, followed by Z.
So, Gary, I think I was skipped, but that's okay. I'll wait right there.
It's in the order in which I see it. People on the stage, buddy. That's the best I can say. I can't follow when people slide down to another location. I know that sounds unfair, but I cannot do that. It's beyond my abilities. So that's why we do it this way. Tiffany, followed by Z.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful conversation, and I'm grateful to have this space to share. It was 1999 when I was a live-in nanny with in Newton, Massachusetts, with a girl who was going through her bat mitzvah as I was converting to Catholicism, and she and I spent that year together parallel with religion and learning our religions, and it was an amazing experience for me, getting to immerse in the religion and learn and grow. And then been a high school teacher for a long time, and every year we are reading Night by Elie Wiesel, and we are Boy in the Blue Striped Pajamas, and watching Freedom Writer, and teaching about the kids that this could happen now. And yet still, here we are in this society where it is not appreciated how powerful words are. Words have power, and so much, wherever they are, there is a lack of respect for language that gets thrown around like it's in respect to the Holocaust in particular, right? Name calling from people that aren't Jewish, but that are wherever. They don't even have a piece in it, but they'll take the Holocaust language and use it so casually. And it boils my blood, and it has to stop. And that I have power over, for me, in that I can be very aware of the language that I use in name calling or respecting others, and showing up with love, showing up in love and curiosity and respect and support. And I have 2 children, 13 and 18, and I can have them also show up in their world in respect and awareness of how powerful language is. We have that power. It doesn't cost anything. We get to choose every day how we are connecting, how we are supporting, or how we are not. Either way, that's our choice. And so today, I was very grateful to raise my hand and say that I'm here. I'm here with the Jewish community. I am sickened and saddened. I am sending love and support, and I will always be a vocal ally. Thank you.
Thank you for those heartfelt comments, Tiffany, and they are soothing to the community. We'll go to Z, followed by Dave Lintz.
Hey, thanks, Gary, and thanks everybody who has shared. I actually don't have a lot to say. I'm here learning. I don't know a lot about the history. And so I kind of just said, yes, I wanted to come up on stage because I was identifying with, I also feel like there's been some incredible setback in people, and the violence and I guess you call it rhetoric or something seems to have popped up again. And it does concern me. And I just say that I hope that, as we move forward, that that a lot more people decide to look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves, what they're going to do, who they are, how to, this is some kind of a historical hatred that I don't really understand because I don't know why people are carrying on for so long with it. That's my own ignorance, that's all. It's probably something to do with human behavior or something. But I wish everybody well here, and I care about you guys, and I really appreciate the way that this space educates me and other people. And also, Gary, I appreciate you asking people questions, qualifying questions, because I don't understand a lot of things either. But I just want to say happy Hanukkah and take good care. And that's it. Thanks.
Thanks. Also very appreciated comments from you. Yeah, a lot of people don't get it that when I ask a question, it is to qualify what they were saying. And instead of fighting, they should embrace that as an opportunity to expand on their point. But anyway, some people, maybe because in a lot of the rooms, people jump down each other's throats. People just presume that's what I'm doing here when I ask them questions. They'll learn. People are starting to get it. Thank you, Z. Dave, followed by Raid.
So over the last 11 months, I have been in room where AB was, okay? So I'll be quoting what AB have spoken. So AB, if I've spoken wrong, please correct me. So I was on 21st May 2025 when the two Washington, D.C. diplomats killed. I was with the Jewish, they were like 20 over Jewish, and they were all silent when they hear the news. I know exactly firsthand how Jewish react when this happened, right? And they went around and asked each other, have you done anything good? Have you done enough good lately? The first thing they do was to self-examine if they have done enough good so that in future, there's a chance there's a less likely another Jews got killed by this kind of hate against the Jews. So I know exactly how Jews feel. And I know exactly when a rabbi in a synagogue got attacked and he protecting the Jews in the rabbi and what he would say before he get killed. So I know exactly how they feel. So I also want to quote the most important words that AB said. AB, please correct me if I've spoken wrong. AB say they come for people on Saturday and then they will come for people on Sunday, right? So if AB, I misquote you, please let me know. Because, yes, AB, you want to say something?
Exactly what I said.
Yes. So, and I urge everybody remember this, okay? There are 50 million Jews. And with the Jews, I would say, you only 50 million. You cannot survive without the help of the 2.5 billion Christians out there. You can't fight alone. It's not enough. And I've been saying this to them or shouting to them. So what Israel is doing right now is recently they have invited 1,000 pastors from US to bring them to Israel to help them to understand the root of the Bible is in Israel, right? And their plan is to increase 1,000 pastors to eventually 1 million pastors from US, right? So there is silver lining of all this thing happening right now because of the Christian American, they understand if they bless the Israel, it will end up according Genesis 12:3. it will bless the United States of America. And so you have Florida mayor, right? Recently, December 8th, has already banned in Florida the Council of Islam American Relation. Okay.
It is in Texas along with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yes, and another one is Texas, right? And they are all trying to ban these two organizations.
In favor of the Muslim Brotherhood ban, they did facilitate some of the nascent terrorist groups that grew into things like Hamas, as well as Al Qaeda.
Yes, what it means is Trump's teams understood what the Genesis 12:3, okay? So they understand what AB just spoken. They come for people on Saturday and they come for people on Sunday. And so the Trump team understood this precisely. And Trump team is accelerating this preemptive preparation before they announce coming to people on Saturday, before they coming to Sunday. Preemptive, okay?
David,
and,
not everybody
yes.
Protestant Christianity is a dominionist.
Yeah. So this is why we see increasing attack on Christmas market. Okay. So AB spoke about Marshall.
Yes, they think that Israel is special, but dominionists are the only people that believe they have to possess the Holy Land in order for Armageddon to happen, which is the group of people you're talking about.
Can I just also clarify that the Muslim Brotherhood is a movement, an organization, a philosophy that is not meaning Muslims that have brotherhood. It's a specific organization. It needs to be clearly stated that this is not a statement about the entire religion, the Muslim religion. It has to do with an organization that is has roots actually going back to the time of the Nazis. Some very similar philosophy, and there are many Arab nations that are at odds or enemies with the Muslim Brotherhood, and those nations are also allies of the United States. It had ties to the Holy Land Foundation and yes to the Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, but also to Iran. So it needs to be very clearly distinguished as to who they are, and anyone can just pick up your phone and Google or however you research and read who the Muslim Brotherhood are. And if you want deeper reading, just look at their connections to Hitler and to the Nazi movement as well. Thank you.
To that point, Abby, there are three guys from Egypt, one of whom is a retired high-ranking Egyptian army official who is still consulted on today on certain matters and who has developed weaponry for the Egyptian government to fight terrorism, for the Egyptian army to fight terrorism. And they are devout Muslims, but they are vehemently opposed to the Muslim Brotherhood, and they, of course, could see the distinction. They feel that the Muslim Brotherhood was attempting to take over, and they did for some time, the Egyptian government to the horrifying detriment of the populace there. And that was eventually put down. And part of that was encouraged by certain policies during the Biden administration under the auspice of some things that the then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton did that I think in reflection she and he may feel was inappropriate, their approach to it. But at any rate, the point is, coming from you and me, it's one thing. Coming from these guys who I see on a weekly basis who are devout Muslims, they would agree with your statement. They do not feel that opposition to the Muslim Brotherhood is opposition to their religion in spite of the title of the organization. Okay, we'll go to Raid, followed by Andrew.
Hello, Gary. I just want to say that the police cannot protect you, that you have to arm yourself and be vigilant and always be situationally aware. We are in dark times in this Christmas season. The mind virus of violence and stupidity is everywhere. So be very diligent and careful and always, never look at your cell phone if you don't have to. Always be vigilant and ready to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Fight these evil bastards.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I think Abby alluded to this earlier, that at least in the United States, the Jewish community, which has by and large been very reticent to this. I mean, most Jews aren't people who bear arms. They're not people who are, can see themselves as tough guys like the Israelis do to defend themselves and their community. More and more Jews are starting to lean in that direction. I don't think enough. But I think it's starting. And unfortunately, the more events such as the one we just saw in Australia that occur, the more Jews will understand that they have to learn martial arts, if nothing else. Even if they don't pick up a gun, which is fine, and it's difficult in some communities. And of course, congregation to congregation, you're going to get different responses from rabbis about whether they ought to even bring a gun into the sanctuary, and you find that in the Christian faith as well. There is a tendency to toughen up. Maybe too little, too late, but hopefully not too late and not too little. Abby, did you want to say something?
Just one other thing, along with actual weapons and learning to defend ourselves, the leaders in the world of intelligence technology with respect to things that I mentioned earlier, like facial recognition, but also deep, dives into information. And so much of the U.S. government now comes out of Israel, comes out of technology in Israel. And for many years, our community didn't really take advantage of the fact that, out of Israel was coming technology that we needed. But now we've partnered with several of these companies, and we're able to have, much more robust intelligence than we had prior. So, but I just wanted to share that so much of it was invented there and comes from some very successful, growing, some were just startups that have come up with great techniques for surveillance that, again, our government takes advantage of. And it's one of the assets and one of the benefits of the allyship is what intelligence and intelligence gathering the U.S. receives from Israel. But now also the Jewish community in the United States, also in England. We actually, one last thing I'll say, is the way we are set up for our security. Generally, we got and used and parroted what they were doing under the Community Trust, which is a program they had in England as well. Thanks.
Well, Abby, as we say here in New York City, if you see something, say something. And that's, at the very least, to take the previous caller's point, what Jewish folks have to do. If you see something or hear something that sounds bad, don't be afraid to, I'm dating myself here, drop a dime and call the cops or the FBI or somebody and let them know. Andrew, followed by Ethan.
Hello, Gary. Obviously, I was sick and mortified, saddened, and just incredulous that this has happened at Bondi. And it just, I remember the previous night I'd seen something about what was happening on the beach, but it wasn't specific. It was just a shooting. And then when I woke up in the morning, I got more details, and it just was devastating. That being said, I don't want to go into all the historical aspects of this. This is so multifaceted. It's historical. It's also recent history. But what we have here, I think also is you've got a concerted effort from the far right in particular to, and I know this is happening in my country, in Canada. Through I think the organization is called the Base. They're a neo-Nazi type movement, and they are going into some of these athletic clubs, weight clubs, and they are trying to recruit these young men into this ideology. And according to some of the readings that I've done, it's being quite successful. And I don't know what to do about it. We've got an intersection of these tropes, and it happens all the time whenever people feel that they're disadvantaged or the economy's bad or they're not being afforded the right opportunities or what have you. They look for a scapegoat, and this is an easy one. It's always low-hanging fruit, and it's like I said, historically we've seen it before with the Black Death. Poisoning wells, and it goes on and on and on. The first time I ever encountered this in my life, I was at a local in Georgetown, and I was sitting at the bar, and some gentleman came down and he just talked to me, and it wasn't 30 seconds in. He started with the Rothschilds, so I knew what was coming, and I just told him, "Okay, shut up. I don't want to talk to you." So that's the first time I've encountered that in person. But of course, now in this day and age, it's all over the place. If you have those sorts of algorithms, you're going to find it. And fortunately, I try not to click on that kind of stuff. So I don't get that in my feeds for the most part. But it's just a horrific event. And again, my heart goes out to all people that have been affected by this, which I consider myself affected by this, obviously. Because I have friends here on the app that are part of the faith, and those are the people I thought about first as soon as I read that in the morning. So anyway, I'll land there. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate those words. Ethan, followed by Steve.
Yeah, my picture that I have there, I'm actually a little older than I look in that picture. I wanted to just bring in like a sense I have of the history. I think that we've lived through kind of the golden age of American Jews, and maybe Jews in other countries too. And when I was young, it was, I used to get beaten up for killing Christ. It was still, the Catholics had not all gotten the message from the Vatican. And one of the things I really worried about... The Pope
today, by the way, said enough with this anti-Semitism. So I want just a tip of the hat to the Pope today for saying...
Yeah. All I'm saying is that it was different, and it changed, and I sometimes think that we were living in a bubble. Post-World War II, it took a lot of years for people to sort of get the message about the Holocaust. It took a while. When I was young, when we moved to a new neighborhood, you couldn't get into neighborhoods because if you were Jewish, there were still rules. I forget what they called it, like covenants or...
It is what they called them, covenants.
Mm-hmm. So it took a while. It took a while for the whole, that was about 20 years after the Holocaust. It took a while for that to kind of move through society. And I kind of look back and I just sort of, one of my feelings is just that I worry a bit that we lived in a bubble of like a golden age and that what we're seeing is more like a return. And so the answer is the Jews have never been safe. And we got this idea that they were, that was this bubble. And I much of my life I've had to keep, I don't look Jewish, as they say. I've kept my Jewish identity secret in a lot of my life, and where I work, like for example, I've worked in academic settings, and I don't say I'm Jewish. I hide my identity. I don't put I don't have something on my door. I've never felt, maybe because when I grew up, I never felt safe. Well, I remember going and thinking things were getting a lot better for Jews. But maybe, so my perspective is just like maybe the history is that we're just getting used to that it's not really safe, and that was a really special time when it seemed to be. I'll stop there.
Thank you, Ethan. Well, you're kind of echoing something that Abby said about it's kind of went to sleep, but it's always ready to awaken. And Abby, and Ethan, the analogy I use is a virus. There are viruses. The Ebola virus, it's still there. It's not affecting us right now, but it's waiting. And anti-Semitism is a virus that is now started to activate once again. And I don't know that there's an answer to it, frankly. How do you combat hatred? You can only combat hatred with the truth. And even then, you're not going to fully put it down, you know? And I think it's a shame that people have to feel like yourself, that they have to hide their identity.
Yeah.
Because
I should just give you one more example. I was at work, you know, a number of years ago, and a colleague of mine who I'd known for years, and I mean, she should have known I was Jewish, started talking about how there was this conspiracy of Jews in the place we were working. And it never even occurred to her that I was Jewish.
Yeah, well, see, you got the luxury of being able to pass. And sometimes you hear things that you weren't supposed to hear, unlike a black person, for example, who doesn't, you know? So there may be an advantage to that. Thank you, our undercover Jew, Ethan, and we'll go to Steve, followed by Alex, and then Barang will get the last word. Steve?
Yeah, Gary, I got probably a little different take on it. I think there's two major components at play here. I think number one, and this isn't so much just a Jewish, but a cultural. As morality breaks down, I think violence becomes more prevalent, because I think the underlying structure of right and wrong being removed gives people more of a feeling of freedom to commit horrific acts. So I think that's one component to it. Specifically, though, I think this hatred's probably the oldest one that exists on the face of the earth. And I think it probably goes back to the tents of Abraham with Hagar and Sarah, Ishmael and Isaac. And I think there's the genesis of it. And I think it's carried on ever since then. And then that's basically my take on it, Gary.
Well, I can tell you that I was disinvited from an Easter dinner table by a Roman Catholic family. The daughter invited me because I was alone. My family was, they were winter Texans, so my parents were in Texas, and I was working. I worked Easter Sunday to allow one of my Christian friends to have the day off. I worked an extra day that week, and I was invited to their
Where did you
dinner
work
table.
in South Texas?
No, I didn't work in South Texas.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I said my parents were down in the Rio Grande Valley. So it was, so the young lady said, what are you doing on Easter Sunday? And I said, I'll stop by someplace, grab a bite to eat. No, come down. And when the father found out that there was a Jew at the table, you killed our Savior. You invited, he says to the young lady, you invited a Jew on Easter Day, they killed our Savior, Jesus Christ. And I was ordered out of the house. She was mortified, and her mother was mortified. But I said, no, that's okay. It's his house. It's his dinner table, and he has the right to determine who sits at his dinner table. And I took my leave, but it's that kind of thing. Alex, followed by Barang. Alex going once. Alex going twice. Barang, you get the last word.
Yeah, hi, Gary. I think tragedy, are Jews safe anywhere? I think I think Jewish people need to be careful. I think they need to know their neighbors. I think they need to connect with the people that live close by. As unfortunate as it is, I think once you connect in personal level with folks, things becomes very different. I grew up in a place with 20-30% Jewish population, a small northern enclave in Northern California. Well, I shouldn't say grew up. I went for 8th grade or a middle school and high school. And my best friends are Jewish. My best friend married my wife and I, and he's Jewish. He was our the person who married us. So I think it depends on where they live and people that surround them. One thing that I'm going to say, And I think it's a trap that everyone needs to be careful of. And I'm not saying it happened in this room, but in other places I hear it here and there, is we have to be careful not to fall into a narrative of this war of civilizations, because it's very dangerous.
That was not articulated here all day, not once.
Okay, yeah, not here, but I hear it in the news, and I think we have to treat this as a terrorism by terrorists, sick individuals that need to be punished. And I think the guy, they had some information on him from 2019
today.
2009. I'm sorry. Okay. So they had some information on him in 2019 that the guy, the son, the 24-year-old that was born in Australia, he had some radical tendencies. They didn't do anything about it. So that I'll just leave it to that. We just need to be treat this not as one group of people